The Great Hall of the Galactic Council was never quiet. Thousands of voices from hundreds of species filled the air. But today, something was different. A low signal echoed through the chamber. Not loud, not aggressive. Just steady, calm, and heavy. The signal came from the edge of the galaxy. A place most empires ignored. A place known only for one small, fragile world called Earth. The council screens lit up. Star maps shifted. And a long glowing line appeared, moving inward, slow but unstoppable. An insect-like delegate clicked its mandibles and laughed. Humans again? They are late to another meeting. Many joined the laughter. Humans were known as noisy, divided, and emotional. They argued more than they fought. They talked more than they acted. No one feared them. Except one. An old being sat silently at the far end of the hall. Its species was ancient, older than most stars. Its eyes narrowed as it studied the signal. "This pattern," the Ancient One said slowly. "I have seen it before." The room grew quieter. A few leaders turned to listen. "This is not a trade convoy," the Ancient continued. "This is not a migration fleet. This is a war formation." The laughter stopped. The signal grew stronger. More lines appeared on the screen. Not one path, but many. Perfectly spaced, perfectly aligned. A scout ship's message suddenly broke through all channels. The feed was shaky. The voice was shaking even more. "We see them," the scout captain said. "They are massive. They are silent." The camera turned. And the council saw it. Ships. Not dozens. Not hundreds. But thousands. Human ships filled the darkness of space. Each one dark, armored, and scarred. No bright colors, no symbols of pride. Only function and strength. They moved as one. No wasted motion. No hesitation. The scout captain swallowed. "It's not one fleet," he whispered. "It's everything they have." The transmission cut. The scout ship vanished from the map. No explosion. No debris. Just gone. Fear crept into the room. Quiet, slow, and cold. "Why would Earth send its full war fleet?" someone asked. "They have never done this before." The ancient being closed its eyes. When humans stopped talking, it said, "They have already decided." The human fleet did not fire. They did not warn. They did not threaten. They simply moved forward. Border systems began to go dark. One by one. Entire star systems disappeared from the map. No battle reports came. No distress calls. Just silence. The council grew desperate. Defensive fleets were activated. Weapons powered up. Old enemies whispered temporary alliances. But the human fleet ignored them all. "They are not slowing down," a commander said. "They are heading straight for the core." Panic spread. If Earth reached the center of the galaxy, no empire could stop them. "They want conquest," someone cried. "They want control." The ancient being shook its head. "No," it said softly. "They want something else." A new signal appeared. Not loud. Not threatening. Human. Clear and calm. The message repeated. But no translation followed. It was not meant to be understood. Not yet. The fleet passed another system. Then another. Still no resistance. Still no attack. A young delegate finally spoke, voice shaking. "What if we were wrong about them?" No one answered. The screens zoomed in on the leading ships. They were old. Marked by past wars. But maintained with care. These were not ships built for display. They were ships built to finish things. The ancient being stood, leaning on its staff. "Remember this moment," it said. "The day humanity stopped asking." The human fleet entered the inner galaxy. Still silent. Still united. And for the first time in galactic history, every empire understood the same truth. Earth had not come to speak. Earth had come because something had gone too far. And whatever the humans were coming for, the galaxy was already too late to stop them. The human war fleet kept moving. No message followed the first signal. No explanation came. The silence was worse than any threat. Across the galaxy, rulers watched their screens. Entire systems had gone dark behind the human fleet. But still, no wreckage appeared. No broken stations. No destroyed planets. Only silence. Military leaders argued. Scientists panicked. Historians searched old records. "How are they doing this?" one commander asked. "There are no battles." A sensor officer replied with fear in his voice. "Our sensors still work. But the stars themselves feel empty." The council demanded answers. Scout ships were sent again. This time in groups. Fast, advanced, and armed. None of them returned. Not destroyed. Not damaged. Just gone. Fear turned into doubt. Doubt turned into dread. An old archive finally opened. A forgotten war from thousands of years ago. A war no one liked to remember. An ancient enemy. Not an empire. Not a species. Something else. Something that lived between stars. Something that did not speak. Did not negotiate. Did not conquer. It erased. The records were incomplete. But one line repeated again and again. When it awakens, silence follows. The ancient being read the line and closed its eyes. "They know," it whispered. "Humans know." Far ahead of the fleet, space began to change. Stars dimmed slightly. Signals bent and twisted. Even the humans slowed their advance. Just a little. For the first time. The fleet reacted. Human ships shifted formation. Not into attack lines. But into layers. Defensive, careful, precise. The council noticed it at once. "They are preparing," someone said. "But not for us." A massive structure appeared on the edge of the map. Old, dark, and wrong. It did not reflect light. It swallowed it. Some recognized it too late. An ancient containment weapon. Built by a long-dead civilization. Created to imprison something that could not be killed. And now, it was failing. Energy spikes flooded the sensors. Not violent. But hungry. The galaxy had ignored the warnings for centuries. The prison was never meant to last forever. The human fleet stopped. Every ship held position. Perfectly aligned. Then the second human message came. This time, translated. "Step back." Only 2 words. Calm. Firm. Some empires obeyed instantly, pulling their fleets away. Others hesitated. Pride slowing their retreat. That was when the first scream echoed across open channels. A sound no species had ever made before. Not pain. Not fear. Loss. A nearby alien fleet vanished. Not destroyed. Not attacked. Erased. The stars behind them dimmed. As if space itself had blinked. The humans did not move. They did not chase. They did not react in panic. They had expected this. Weapons powered up across the human fleet. Not bright. Not dramatic. Controlled. "This is why they came," the ancient being said. "Not for power. Not for fear. For responsibility." The structure began to crack. Dark energy leaked into space. Reality bent around it. Human ships advanced slowly now. Each movement measured. Each step planned. A human commander appeared briefly on screen. Not shouting. Not proud. Tired. "We warned the council," the voice said. "You chose delay." The image vanished. The fleet formed a ring around the ancient structure, cutting it off from the galaxy, containing the damage. For the first time, alien leaders realized the truth. Humans had not arrived late. They had arrived last. Because they were the only ones willing to finish what others were too afraid to face. And as the dark presence stirred within its broken prison, The galaxy understood one final thing. If Earth failed today, there would be no one left to try again. The dark structure began to open. Not like a door. Not like a machine. It opened like a wound. Space around it bent inward. Light stretched. Time itself felt slow. Alien scientists screamed warnings. Sensors overloaded. Numbers stopped making sense. This is not energy, one expert said. This is hunger. From inside the broken prison, something moved. Not fully visible. Not fully present. Shadows reached outward, touching ships that were too close. A small defense fleet tried to fire. Their weapons vanished before impact. As if reality refused to carry them. The ships followed. Gone. Without sound. Fear turned into pure terror. The human fleet moved again. Not fast. Not slow. Certain. Human ships spread wider, forming a massive layered wall between the galaxy and the darkness. Each ship took a precise position. As if they had practiced this moment many times before. Alien commanders watched in disbelief. No one plans for this, one whispered. No one prepares for the impossible. But humans had. Inside the human command ship, officers spoke in calm voices. No panic. No shouting. Phase 1 complete, one said. Containment holding. The dark presence pushed harder. Stars flickered. Entire regions of space dimmed. The ancient being at the council lowered its head. We failed, it said. We all failed. A new human broadcast spread across every channel. Every language. Every system. We are engaging. That was all. Human weapons activated. They did not glow bright. They did not shake space. They cut. Thin lines of controlled force struck the darkness. Not to destroy it, but to shape it. To guide it. The presence reacted. Space screamed. Yes, screamed. Several alien species collapsed in fear. Never before had reality itself made a sound. The darkness tried to spread sideways. Humans adjusted instantly. Ships moved as one mind. This was not bravery. This was discipline. An alien general finally understood. They are not reacting, he said. They are executing. The dark presence focused on the human fleet, ignoring the rest of the galaxy. It sensed the threat. Human ships began to take damage. Entire sections vanished. Crews were lost. But the formation held. No human ship retreated. No signal of distress was sent. They are sacrificing ships, someone said, to protect us. The realization hit like a blow. The humans were not fighting for victory. They were fighting for time. Deep inside the fleet, a final system powered up. Old. Forbidden. A weapon never shared. Never shown. The ancient being recognized the energy pattern. Its voice trembled. That device was theorized, it said. No species dared to build it. Humans had dared. The fleet tightened its circle, pulling the dark presence inward, compressing it, forcing it to focus. Human losses increased. But still, no retreat. A human captain whispered, "Hold the line." Across the fleet, the same words repeated, "Hold the line." The darkness screamed again. Louder. Angrier. Stars around it began to collapse. Gravity twisted. Reality cracked. And still, the humans held. The final weapon reached full charge. Silence spread across the battlefield. Even the dark presence paused. A human commander appeared one last time. Face calm. Eyes tired. "We tried warning you," the voice said. "This is the cost of ignoring quiet dangers." The signal cut. The weapon fired. Not outward, but inward. Space folded. The darkness was pulled back into itself. Forced into a shrinking point. The prison collapsed completely, taking the presence with it. Then, nothing. Stars slowly returned to normal. Light stabilized. Reality healed. The human fleet remained. Damaged. Reduced. But standing. Across the galaxy. Every species watched in silence. They had seen fear. They had seen power. But now they understood something far greater. Humans did not rule the galaxy. Because guardians do not need thrones. And the cost of today would be remembered forever. Because humanity had once again chosen to stand. So everyone else could survive. Silence covered the galaxy after the weapon fired. Not the empty silence from before. But a heavy silence. The kind that follows survival. Wreckage floated where human ships once stood. Metal, armor, broken engines. Quiet proof of the cost. Alien fleets stayed far away. No one moved closer. No one celebrated. They watched the human formation. Smaller now. Damaged. But still unbroken. Inside the Galactic Council Hall. No one spoke. Screens showed human ships pulling wounded vessels into protected positions. Rescue craft moved out immediately. They are saving their own, a delegate whispered. Even now. Even after everything. The ancient being finally lifted its head. Eyes filled with something new. Not fear. Not pride. Respect. We judged them by their noise, it said slowly. But we never listened to their silence. Across the galaxy, messages began to spread. From worlds that had watched from afar. They were not demands. Not threats. They were questions. Are we safe? What happens now? The humans did not answer at once. They focused on recovery. On stabilizing space around the collapse. On sealing the last cracks in reality. Alien scientists observed in awe. Human methods were simple. Direct. Effective. No wasted movement. No unnecessary steps. They fight like engineers, one scientist said. They solve problems. As hours passed, the dark energy faded completely. Stars returned to normal brightness. The galaxy was alive. That was when the third human message arrived. This one was longer. Still calm. Still controlled. The threat has been contained. Long-term damage is minimal. Losses sustained. The pause between words felt heavy. Then one final line. Learn from this. Some leaders felt shame. Others felt relief. Many felt both. An empire that once mocked humans quietly lowered its banners. Another dismantled a secret weapon project. Fear had changed priorities. But something else changed too. Stories began to spread. Not propaganda. Not exaggeration. Truth. How humans had warned quietly. How they had prepared alone. How they had acted without asking for power in return. Children on distant worlds asked their elders, "Why did the humans save us?" The elders had no easy answer. Because humans did not speak of destiny. They spoke of duty. A damaged human carrier drifted near the edge of the battlefield. Its hull torn open. Life support barely holding. Alien ships approached carefully. For the first time. Not as rivals. But as helpers. They offered repairs. Medical aid. Support. A human officer responded with a short message. Accepted. That single word sent waves through the galaxy. They were not alone anymore. Inside the council hall. A motion was proposed. A new status for Earth. Not ruler. Not leader. Protector. The ancient being spoke again. They will refuse a throne, it said. But they may accept responsibility. As if on cue, the human fleet began to withdraw. Slowly. Orderly. No victory formation. No display of power. They left behind safety. Not fear. A young delegate watched the fleet fade into distant stars. What if they never come back, it asked. The ancient being answered quietly. If we are wise. We will make sure they never need to. But deep in human space. Admirals reviewed losses. Names were recorded. Stories remembered. Humans mourned in silence. The same way they had prepared. The same way they had fought. One final order echoed through the fleet. Return home. Stand down. Yet across the galaxy, sensors remained alert. Records were updated. And a new rule was written into history. Do not ignore quiet warnings. Because the day Earth moves as one, it is never without reason. And the galaxy had learned, not through conquest, but through survival, that humanity did not seek the stars. The stars would one day seek humanity. Years passed after the day the human war fleet arrived. The galaxy healed slowly. Scars remained. But life continued. Trade routes reopened. Borders stabilized. Old rivalries felt smaller now, because everyone remembered how close the end had been. On many worlds, monuments were built. Not to kings. Not to empires. But to a moment. The moment's silence almost consumed everything. In galactic academies, a new lesson was added. Students studied star maps of the collapse zone. Teachers spoke carefully. This is where the galaxy nearly ended, they said. And this is where humans stood. Young minds asked the same question. Why did they do it? The answer was never simple. Because humans never called themselves heroes. They never claimed destiny. They acted because no one else would. On Earth, there were no parades. No galaxy-wide celebration. Families gathered quietly. Names were read. Medals were placed in silent rooms. Human leaders spoke little. Their words were private. Their grief shared only among their own. Far away, alien observers noticed something strange. Human space did not grow outward. No new colonies were claimed. No borders pushed. Instead, Earth returned to its usual noise. Arguments, debates, art, laughter. As if nothing had happened. That confused the galaxy more than the battle ever had. The ancient being, now near the end of its long life, recorded a final message. Its voice weak but clear. We feared humanity for its power. But we misunderstood its strength. It was never their weapons. It was their restraint. A new council rule was quietly accepted by all major empires. It was never announced loudly. Never enforced by force. It was simply understood. If Earth warns you once, listen. If Earth warns you twice, act. Because there would not be a third warning. Decades later, sensors detected something unusual at the edge of the galaxy. A fluctuation. Small. Familiar. Panic began to rise. But it faded quickly. Human observers marked it. Logged it. Adjusted defenses. And waited. The galaxy watched Earth again. Waiting to see movement. Waiting to see the fleet. Nothing happened. And that silence brought comfort. Because everyone now understood what it meant. When humans move quietly, they are preparing. When humans speak calmly, they are serious. And when humanity arrives together, it is never for conquest. It is because the galaxy itself is in danger. Long after ships had been repaired and stars had stabilized, one phrase remained, passed from world to world, from generation to generation, not as a threat, not as fear, as truth. Do not wake Earth's war fleet, because the last time it arrived, the galaxy trembled, and survived, only because humanity chose to stand in the dark, so everyone else could live in the light.